It's a very good evening, Vixens family, and welcome to Vixens Live. My name's Pete Laser. Once again, a pleasure to be your host on this Thursday evening as we come together to celebrate all things Melbourne Vixens. I do trust you're staying healthy, staying well, and staying safe in these very challenging times. We are, of course, here every Thursday night for Vixens Live, brought to you on Facebook and YouTube. And tonight, proudly brought to you by our very good friends from Puma. Puma, alongside Netball Victoria and Melbourne Vixens, have a very exciting announcement later on this evening during Vixens Live. So make sure you stick with us because you'll be amongst the first to hear about this amazing new campaign. Every Thursday night on Vixens Live, I'm very pleased to be joined by a fantastic co-host. And we have had some of the biggest names in the game join us every Thursday night. And tonight is no exception. 34 tests for Australia, a 5-time Melbourne Phoenix Premiership player, an all-round legend, was an assistant coach with our winning Vic Fury team last year. Was going to be involved again this year, but unfortunately that competition isn't happening. So she's joining us tonight. It's a big, warm welcome to Eloise Southby. Ella, welcome to Vixens Live.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Pete. Always a pleasure to work with you. And how good are the Vixens going?
So good. There's plenty of netball you played, plenty of netball over. An amazing career, looking back at Commonwealth Games gold medals, at premierships with the Phoenix. Talk us through some of your highlights of what was a truly amazing netball career.
Well, I was so lucky. I'm such a passionate Victorian, and to be able to have played in 5 premierships with the Melbourne Phoenix was just amazing. And obviously the Phoenix now have become the Vixens. They were all very special because you get to work with different groups each year, and yeah, the friendships I made out of that group was particularly important and something that I treasure. But obviously my gold medal at the Manchester 2002 Commonwealth Games was probably a highlight.
It is all about team success, isn't it? You can see the passion which is driving the Vixens at the moment. Individual accolades don't mean that much if you don't have that team success. And looking at your friendship group at the moment, they are some of the best netballers that Victoria and Australia has ever seen, but they are lifelong friendships that come together after a career.
It is, and that's one of the things I'm loving about this group at the Vixens. They've been a core group there for quite a while now, and you can see it in the way that they play, you know, the eye contact, the body language. You can see they've actually got good camaraderie both on and off the court, which really does help in those crunch moments in a game. You just look at each other and want to play together to win, and back each other up. And, you know, that's what I love about watching the Vixens at the moment, and I keep cheering them on at home because I think there'll be good things this season.
And what have you been up to since your netball career, glittering netball career? And we love seeing you around Vic Fury now, but what have you been up to in the last few years just to fill in all the wonderful people who have been supporting netball for so long?
Well, you know, outside of netball, I've been breeding, Pete, as you know. Yeah, so I've got 3 sons and a stepdaughter, so very busy at home with my home life. But I also am coaching, head coach of the Maribyrnong Sports Academy, so a head netball coach there, and I work with the Paralympics team in athlete welfare, the Australian wheelchair rugby team. I also have been helping out Di Honey with the Fury, so I'm loving those roles. It's a very busy time in my life managing and balancing everything.
Well, let's get stuck into some netball then, because you've had such a great career. I'd love to hear your thoughts. We'll get into the Vixens games in a moment. Before we do, though, remiss of us not to talk about what happened last night. It was amazing viewing, watching it live, and actually went back and watched it again and again. What were your thoughts on what's happened? It has been the talk of the netball world so far.
Look, a fantastic TV spectacle in itself to, you know, the players are out there, they're passionate, they're hungry, they're going to go for everything. And Cristiano Manua actually was late, and I back the umpire's decision. A lot of the commentators out there are saying that, you know, they weren't the right calls and but I know as a shooter how many times a defender wanted to put the body on me and wanted to take me out, to if nothing else, mess with my head. So I think they have to actually control the match. If you let that stuff go, then you're going to have bloodbaths. We don't want that in the sport, and I think, you know, at the end of the day, she probably shouldn't have been put back on court, which then when she got sent off again, they only had the 6 players. So, but look, I loved watching it because it was just full of drama. And, you know, for sport, any sport, that's what you're tuned into.
We certainly know it's a full-on sport. Of course, you're doing the reputation of shooters being the princesses. Absolutely no harm at all. Ella, now leading into round 6 of the 2020 Suncorp Super Netball. I mean, we're flying now. It is in the condensed format, as you said, watching plenty of games every week. 2 games if you're a passionate Vixens fan, 8 games if you're a passionate netball fan. How much netball are you consuming? You said you've got a family of 27 that you're looking after. How much netball do you get to consume every week?
Well, look, I try and when the Vixens are on, and if there's 2 games, I tend to watch those 2. I definitely watch my Vixens, my beloved Vixens. And then a lot of the other times it's just about highlights, trying to catch up on what's happening. But I did go back and watch last night's game because, it was a talk of the town all over social media this morning. So I did what I can there. As you can see, my son coming in the background dancing. Great.
That was always going to happen. We mentioned this during the day when we knew you were coming on. Nothing like a cameo in front of 6,000 Vixens fans on YouTube and Facebook. Since our show last Thursday night, Ella, we've had 2 games. On round 4 was Sunday afternoon, probably an upset, it's probably fair to say, with the Thunderbirds, who traditionally over the last couple of years haven't been as strong, but they were fantastic. 54-47. The Vixens were leading after every break, but the Thunderbirds were too strong. A dominant 19-10 final quarter, securing them the win. Thunderbirds were fantastic. We do get redemption shortly, but what a win it was for the Thunderbirds. The Vixens learned from their errors, though, against West Coast Fever in their round 5 clash on Tuesday night. 68-59. The team opening the match with the equal highest scoring quarter of the season, 21-14 at quarter time. Match also saw debutant Elle McDonald take to the court for the first time. Fantastic start to the season for the Vixens. A blip on the radar against the Thunderbirds, came back strongly against the Fever, and another debutant in Elle McDonald. So much to sort of unpack there, but it's been a strong start to the season and good to see not just debutants, but also learning from mistakes and coming back strongly. You'd love that as a coach and an assistant coach, Elle.
Oh, definitely. Look, we all know they were terrible. Like, I turned it, I was like, oh, what a shocking netball they played against the Thunderbirds. But to Thunderbirds' credit, they came out to play and they played poorly before that. So it was always going to happen. It was a danger game for us and ended up being one. And look, they came back firing, and that's what you want. You don't probably want to go through a season undefeated. So at some point you need that kick up the backside, which is what they got. And look, the rolling subs, they just play into allowing us to put on these rookies and debutants. And it's so great for Australian netball to be able to get these kids exposed to this level of netball. So I loved seeing Elle on. I coached her with the Fury last year. She's got a lot to offer. And her beautiful smile at the end of the game, it was like Taylor Honey's the week before, how excited and happy they are to have played for this great club. So I loved it. It was fantastic.
And it's more than just opportunity, isn't it? It's going to be the best squad is going to win you important matches and finals and hopefully the grand final as well, but it's about a squad mentality, not just your best 7 on court for as long as you can, which we've seen in previous seasons. This is about everyone who's on that list.
Well, it is. And look, the rolling subs really help with being able to maintain top quality netball for more than one game a week. So you need to be able to use those rolling subs to your advantage. So you've got to be able to get fresh legs out there, get your Kate Maloney's, get your Liz Watsons off, because those mid-quarters, they do run they have a lot of Ks to run. And, 4 or 5 minutes here or there in a quarter or 2 quarters really actually helps them to be able to back up that next game, particularly if you're only got a 2-day break.
It's also going to be important for the coaches as well and assistant coaches as they go. Let's take a look at the ladder as it stands after round 5. And of course, we love looking at the ladder whilst the Vixens are sitting on top. 4 wins and a loss, but that's very similar to Sunshine Coast and New South Wales Swifts as well. But a really strong percentage in a condensed season where there's so many unknowns, Ella. Looking at that ladder, how important do you think percentage will be? But also knowing that if you do drop a game, not to wallow too much, learn from those mistakes and come out the next game, I was going to say next week, You have 2 games in a week. Come out and make sure that you're ready to go. How important will it be? Strong percentage, but also winning and backing up after a win or a loss.
Yeah, look, a strong percentage as a coach, you're always pushing for that. And look, a philosophy in Victorian netball is a really strong defensive output. So to keep your opposition each match to the lowest score possible, and that means everyone on the court doing that job. And then the more we can score, and we've got firepower, like if our goalers are on, we're unstoppable. So it's about that, keeping that score of our opposition down each week and really fighting for that, making sure you keep them to the lowest overall against any team.
We saw Tegan Phillip was on fire the other night, the missing player of the match. Look forward to more of that. But as you say, with such firepower, it doesn't matter who's out there, they can get the job done for the Vixens. We love having a look at camp life. It's a different season this year, everyone up in the hub. And we're seeing behind the scenes a little bit about what's going on. This week, we're in the hands of everyone's favourite Jamaican, Katie Ann Dehaney. Let's have a look at what Katie Ann has got for us this week. Great to see a bit of fun off the court from the Melbourne Vixens and the support staff as well. Happy thanks to Katie Ann for showing us around the hub. Time for a very special and exciting announcement on behalf of Puma and the Melbourne Vixens. I'm pleased to introduce the Witness Fearless campaign. Let's take a little preview of what it all means to witness fearless. Witness fearless. What an inspiring piece of vision that is. As netball fans, we all know how physically demanding, tough and rigorous sport netball is, unlike any other. We understand that our professional athletes face pressures unlike any other athletes in mainstream sport. We know that there's a strong and proud community in Australia that loves the sport of netball. Witness Fearless is a call to netball fans all over the country to come together in support of the sport for the rest of the 2020 season. We all need to drive netball forward together. We need to demand to be heard. We need to crush negative reviews, change perceptions and change headlines. For Witness Fearless to have a meaningful impact, we need the whole netball community to get behind it. We need to unite and we need to have our voices heard. Over the coming weeks, starting with Sunday's clash against the Giants, Witness Fearless will come to life across Match Day, our social media and Puma AU. starting with your chance to witness Fearless up close and win an exclusive 30-minute Zoom session with a Vixens athlete. Visit the Melbourne Vixens Instagram page from tomorrow, tag a mate, and make sure you're following Puma AU to be in with a chance to win. Ella, what a strong message that's sending to the netball community and the community at large. I mean, some of the reviews were like a little game for schoolgirls. I mean, that's ridiculous when you see how hard they work. Do you think the Witness Fearless campaign will galvanise the netball community?
Well, yeah, I think it's an opportunity for the whole netball community and the community in general, even if you're just tuning in now and loving the sport, to get behind this campaign and really prove that we've got the community backing, that it's not just for little schoolgirls, even though, you know, I was a schoolgirl that played and there's plenty of them out there, but you can then go on and be, with the skill and the training and the want and the desire, to be an elite Australian athlete. The Suncorp Super Netball is an amazing competition, and it's full of fearless women out there attacking the ball, and it's fierce and competitive, and I absolutely love it.
I think the only people who don't know that's Fearless are the ones that have never seen it. Witness Fearless, it's a fantastic campaign. We want it to galvanise our netball community in 2020. To tell us a little bit more about our Witness Fearless campaign, it's a very, very warm welcome all the way from Brisbane in the hub, as we welcome and say happy birthday to Taylor Honey.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thanks so much.
So I'm saying happy birthday to someone who's in a hub, debuted for the Vixens this year, come back from an Achilles injury, and now is talking through a Witness Fearless campaign, which will be so much to you and so much to your teammates. Talk us through some of the elements of this campaign, because it looks like a really strong message that we're sending, not just to girls out there, but the whole of the netball community.
I think it's truly such an incredible initiative. It really does celebrate our passion for netball, and not only netball, but women's sports. So I think it's such a great idea to, you know, recognise the passion, love and fight that we have as a community, and to really harness that into this movement.
You've been surrounded by netball. You've got your mum up there who's involved in netball as assistant coach as well. What does it mean for someone who's played it all her life and has the family support, your teammate support, but also to get outside just the traditional netball boundaries? What does that mean to you as a player in the Suncorp Super Netball, but also knowing where you've come from as well?
Yeah, it's super special to have Mum up here, especially a couple of weeks ago when I debuted. It was really nice to have her, as I know a lot of people up here, whether that will be netball or football, don't have their families around them when they debut, so that was a really special moment for me. And yeah, it's good to have her up here. I don't really know much different to having Mum as my coach, so it really is quite a treat.
Tay, you have had a bit of a long time off the court, so debuting this week last week must have been very exciting. But with your injury last year, tell us what it was like to have to go through that and to earn a dress back at the Vixens.
Yeah, last year was a really tough year for me. I learnt so many things. I learnt to be a lot more resilient and patient, I think, but I've never really had even a bad ankle roll before, so to have this serious injury was really a new experience for me. But I think it was such an amazing feeling when Simone, you know, gave me the call up and said, we'd like to have you again. That would just solidified all of the hard work that I'd done throughout the year. So it was a very special moment, and to step out on court just made it all the more special. And yeah, it was so exciting.
And what's it been for all of you to actually play multiple weeks? Not we had to do this. This is more like a nationals format.
Yeah, I actually do like the tight turnaround with games, playing as many, you know, obviously we all love playing, and match play is what we want to do. And I think at Vixens we are privileged to have a lot of match play at training, so I don't think it's too different from a typical week than us, and I think that's going to hold steady come a few weeks' time when there's a few tired bodies out there from other teams potentially.
What type of things are involved in recovery, especially when you have a tight 2-day time frame turnaround?
Yes, we're very lucky to have an amazing massage therapist and physio. Fasting sessions, we'll do pool recovery and also ice baths, and then we'll be able to have treatment, massage and physio throughout the day, and obviously girls will get the things to do that they need to be lucky, well looked after.
Now, you play with a hiring group of girls, all of them, they have a great group, lots of fun. Any tidbits you could give away about them? Anything, any inside goss from the hub?
Ooh, quite a few girls have been getting around TikTok. I feel like that's the hot activity at the moment. MJ recently just signed up today, so look out for more from her on that front. But nothing too juicy, I can't say, no.
Yes, you can't say, Ella. This is the problem. There are things that you could say, but you're not going to, and that's a bit of a shame, Taylor. I must say we needed a little bit of inside work from you, but I suppose being one of the newbies, as we know, you've got to do the right thing and total. How do you celebrate your birthday in isolation? It is a weird one. Yes, you've got your mum there, but how do you celebrate your birthday today?
Today I had a court session actually in the morning, which was fun, got a bit of a sweat on. And then we came back and did pool recovery and ice baths, as I was mentioning before. We also had some meetings with coaches. I had lunch with Rudy Ellis from Firebird, so it was really nice to see her and going out for dinner, which we're very lucky to be able to do up here.
Yeah, I think the only thing that we've got in common is the ice baths, and that's just us walking outside. We've got Witness Fearless is going to be on the front of our kits from Sunday. It means a lot. It probably seems a little bizarre to you that you'll be giving any advice to young netballers out there, but if you did have any advice, if you could say anything to the aspiring netballers and the community, what would you say as we go into our first game with Witness Fearless on the front as warming up against the Giants? What would you say to the next generation?
I think Witness Fearless is just an opportunity to show your passion for the sport and leave nothing out on court and just give everything your all. I think this is what that campaign is really telling us to do, and it's something that can be followed by @Puma AU on Instagram. So if you wanted to keep up with any of the progress of it, that's a really good platform to follow. So I think young girls, just get out there and do you.
Fantastic stuff, Taylor. Thank you so much for joining us. We won't take up any more of your birthday time. It sounds like you've had a very professional sports person's birthday so far. Hopefully you get to enjoy it. Let's cap it off with a win on Sunday against the Giants.
Yes, let's hope so. We've got this.
You've got this indeed. Thanks very much to Taylor Honey joining us. Fantastic to hear from the birthday girl, Taylor Honey, up in the hub. It is a different sort of season. I'm really liking this Witness Fearless campaign though. Ella, it means so much to a young athlete like Taylor. It will mean so much to so many boys and girls all around our netball community around Australia.
Yeah, I think it's really important that we get behind it and we really make sure we start hashtagging it and putting it on our socials for the campaign.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about the game. We touched on it briefly with Taylor. It is against the Giants on Sunday, the 23rd of August, 1 p.m. on Sunday afternoon at USC Stadium. You can tune into Channel 9 to catch all the action live. Giants have had mixed results. They will be angry coming off last night as well. It will be a big matchup on Sunday afternoon. Exactly.
I think the Giants are going to go all out, really. So the Vixens, surely after last night, are going to be prepared for that. And I'm sure that they're going to come out strong and firing. But you know what it is? It's all about the smarts when you play netball, and the smarts can beat the Giants. Get off the body, do your prelim work, lots of dodging and weaving around, and some precision passing and good defence will get them over the line.
We've seen some fantastic all-court defence, and also the ball movement, I think, from the Vixens this year, probably Thunderbirds game aside, of course, but the ball movement has been the one thing I've noticed has been absolutely spot on so far.
Pete, look, I think what I've loved when I'm watching is their no fear approach in attack. Just let the ball go. So it's been really watch that.
Channel 9, Sunday, 1 o'clock, our very own Melbourne Vixens taking on the Giants. You can see it on Channel 9. Make sure you tune in. The league also announced earlier the round 7 fixture, which will see the Vixens take on the Adelaide Thunderbirds for the second time in just a couple of weeks at USC Stadium next Wednesday night, 7:30 on Telstra TV or the Netball Live app. You can see the round 8 game against the Swifts and the round 9 game against the Giants once again. It is a different type of season, as we know, and getting to take on the Thunderbirds again. I know you always loved a bit of redemption, whether it was against the old Sydney Swifts or whoever it happened to be. Didn't matter who you came up against. Once there was a loss in there, once someone had your number, How much better is it just to wait a couple of weeks and get back out there, Ella? The girls will be ready to go for that game, no doubt.
The thing that I worry about is they've only got a short turnaround time, but you would think, given how they played last time against Thunderbirds, they'll come out firing. And our barometer's been Tegan Phillips, so if she can come and star, then I think Vixens can do it.
Indeed. Of course, every team's got quick turnarounds as well. So we've got the Giants on Sunday and then the Adelaide Thunderbirds Wednesday night. Sunday you can watch on Channel 9, Netball Live app or Telstra TV for next Wednesday night's game. And of course, then next Thursday night, back on Vixens Live. Make sure you're here. Last week we got to know Vixens' newly appointed co-captain Liz Watson a little bit better. Tonight it's our favourite Malawi shooter, MJ. Let's find out a little bit more in our quick fire segment this week.
Hi MJ, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you, sister?
I'm good, thank you. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Yes, sure.
What's your favourite part about playing SSN?
The favorite part playing in SSN because we play against the best netball in the world.
Something about yourself a lot of people wouldn't know?
Oh, I love dancing. A lot of people doesn't know that, but I love dancing.
Who's the player you dread playing the most?
I like playing against Jiva because it's battle every time when we play each other.
Favourite fan moment so far?
My favorite fan moment so far is when my mom visited Australia 2011. Yeah, I feel very grateful.
One household chore you hate to do?
Oh, I hate cleaning my toilet.
What does being an athlete mean to you?
Being an athlete means a lot to me because I moved to Malawi to play netball here in Australia, so it's just something like amazing for me.
What does family mean to you?
Family means a lot to me, but we don't have family here in Australia, so our family is long way, and our Vixens is our family.
Favourite part of your job?
My favourite part of my job is netball, and the money I get from netball build my mom's house, so my mom is living in a nice house.
Is there anything you're afraid of?
Oh, yes, I'm afraid of snakes. That's it.
What can fans expect this year?
We have been training very hard, so I think this year will be our best than ever.
Great, thanks MJ.
To celebrate our win on Tuesday night, we're giving everyone 15% off the entire Puma range. If you're a member, even better, 25% off. The offer ends midnight tonight. Members, make sure you're logged into your account to get the extra discount. And get behind us and become a Vixens member. Beyond the Court memberships are just $55. Receive exclusive member benefits including supporter pack, member-only content and 10% off Vixens merchandise. Go to melbournevixens.com.au and get behind us. Great to have you as members, and of course make sure you get your merchandise. I've got plenty of merchandise here as well. Well, Ella, you would know the support from everyone in Melbourne and Victoria. It just means so much. And it means a lot to the Vixens, especially playing away from home. And we've got some member messages. In fact, we've got some photos to show you now. They're absolutely sensational. We received plenty of photos. Kim Blackwood, go Vixens. Extra special. Her name is Vixen, the little dog. Name is Vixen. How good's that? From Kim Blackwood. T-Mac Fegg said, go Vixens. Hashtag Vixens at home. All the room decorations. Looks a lot like my study, as it always does. Harry Harmons, go Vixens ISO style. Using the scarf as a bit of a mask as well. We also got a video message from Olivia Lamb. Let's take a look.
We are the Vixens, the greatest team of all. We are the Vixens, we're always on the ball. We play the match as it should be played in Melbourne or Queensland. Our posters fly high, that's for our fans, so that they can cheer us on in lockdown.
What a great little song. Seems a little bit too Geelong-like for mine, but our coach Simone McInnes would absolutely love that, being a Geelong girl. So well done there from Olivia Lamb. Great to have all of the messages. Make sure that you're following Melbourne Vixens on all of your social media platforms, as we know, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter and use the hashtag Vixens for Life and hashtag Vixens at Home. As you know, we run a competition every Thursday night after Vixens Live on our social media. This week we're asking the question, which Vixens player will be the MVP for Sunday's match against the Giants? Guess the MVP. There are multiple people with the correct guess. We'll go into a random draw and you can receive a hamper from Hampers with Bite. Now, Ella, I reckon you've got a bit of a connection with Hampers with Bite as well. So I want you to tell me just how good it would be to win a hamper from Hampers with Bite. And I want your prediction for Sunday's MVP for the Vixens game against the Giants.
Well, my husband and my brother-in-law own Hampers with Bite, so get behind them. They make fantastic hampers. And it's always great. There's plenty to choose from, so you'll love getting one delivered. And my MVP for Sunday, I'm going to go with the barometer again, Tegan Phillip.
What a surprise. She's chosen a shooter. Absolutely no surprise in what you've given us there. But great to have you there. Tegan Phillip, she's in any sort of form at the moment that we saw on Tuesday night. We look forward to seeing that again on Sunday. Give us your guess. It'll open up after Vixens Live completes tonight on Thursday night. We want to know the MVP for Sunday, so make sure you're in there and you could win a fantastic Hampers with Bite hamper, and you'll be supporting the wonderful house that Ella's in at the moment as well. Head to the Vixens Facebook page and give us your guess too. That brings us to the end of Vixens Live for once another Thursday night. Ella, thanks so much for joining us. Great to have legends of the game come back and join us, and a passionate Vixens fan as well. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Pete, and go Vixens.
Absolutely. Go Vixens indeed. Don't forget, of course, to support the fantastic Witness Fearless campaign with thanks to our friends from Puma. Seeing is believing. Netball, if you don't see it, you won't believe it. The Witness Fearless campaign will be taking over this Sunday against the Giants and then for the remainder of the 2020 season. You can tune in on Sunday, 1 p.m, as we take on the Giants. Channel 9 is the place to see it, and our Round 7 match next Wednesday night, and that is on the Netball Live app or on Telstra TV. I, of course, will be back next Thursday with another edition of Vixens Live. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and go Vixens.